Hello everyone. So today I want to talk about something that was a part of my childhood, and it is my dog. Now when I was a kid we had this dog. He was my sister's dog. His name was Comet, and she named him after the dog on Full House. But I was very scared of him because he was like a big dog. He was like a picture like a golden retriever with like a pattern of a German Shepherd. And I was so scared of him because every time I went outside, he would jump on me. And you know, I was like 3 years old. So I was like 2 feet tall and like this big creature comes up and jumps on me. It's really scary. But I was never really scared because I was attacked by a dog. I was just scared of what would happen if I went to a dog. So then a few years later, I decided to go outside in my backyard and I just started petting him. And, you know, he was already old by that point, so he didn't jump on me. But then I thought, oh, dogs are not so bad. But at the same time, every time we went outside, like in the neighborhood, if I saw a dog, I would get really scared, even if it was like a tiny dog. My sister decided to get me a dog for my birthday, and my birthday's in June. So she decided to get the dog in May at the shelter. So then we brought home this cute dog. It was a girl dog. She was brown. She was very cute, but she was kind of a little woozy from the surgery. And then she died. And that was really hard. But then we went to the same shelter again, and we saw another dog. And that was my dog. He was so cute. He sat in the corner by himself, like, you know, the way dogs curl up like this. He was in the corner by himself. And then my sister and I, we took him to someplace private to get to know him. And he sat in my sister's lap, very quiet. And then he went to the bathroom in the corner of where we were. And I still remember that day because my sister, she was like, if he would have gone to the bathroom in my lap, we would not have gotten him. So we got pretty lucky. He was about 3 months old. He was a lab mix. And I named him Sparks. If you don't know what that's a reference to, it's to the Spiral PlayStation 1 games, which are the ones I like the most. And in those games, the dragon, which is the main character of those games, he had this little health meter that was a dragonfly, and the dragonfly's name was Sparks. So that's who I named him after. He was pretty quiet that first day. Like, he came home, he was in the corner, he was shaking, he was so cute. Because he didn't know what to do, like we were strangers to him. And then a few days later he started showing his crazy side, like he was running around everywhere, a lot of high energy, you know, wagging his tail. And then over the next few months he got bigger until he reached his full size. He was like, he was up to here, which, I mean, I'm pretty short, I'm 5'1.5". But he was like up to here. So he was a pretty big dog. But he would always do this crazy stuff. If we would close the door, he would open it up with his paw or his nose. So he would scratch the door to get it open, but then he would also use his nose, like push it. But he didn't know how to turn doorknobs. Like, he could only do this if the door was like a little bit open. And he would do just the funniest things. Like, if I was in my room, he would just push the door open and he would just stare at me like, and then he would leave. I was like, okay. He was a very funny dog. He was very smart. So smart that he was suspicious. Like, if I threw a dog treat on the floor, like if I was trying to bribe him to do something, like to get inside a room or something, he would just stare at it like, and he would look like this way to see if I was watching him. And then I would hide somewhere nearby. And then I would watch him from behind the couch or something and like wait for him to take the dog treat. And then if he saw me, this is what would happen. He would back away so fast, it was so funny. He's like, I'm not taking that dog treat, you're trying to trick me. And then another way he was smart was that he was very, I guess, emotionally in tune with us. Because every time we got upset, he would get really close to the person that was upset, and he would put his paw on us. But, you know, he would also put his paw on us when he wanted attention, so maybe it was like a mixture of both. He was just a very fun, playful dog. But then, you know, that all changed about a year ago. This was in May, near the end of May, unfortunately. And he just collapsed and he left. And that was a really sad day for me. Like, he'd had leg problems before because he was an old dog. He was 13 when this happened. He got treated for it. You know, we all thought he was fine. You know, we just thought, like, you know, oh, he's fine. You know, he's walking again. He's not crying every second. He still barks. He still whines. He still has a lot of energy. He still runs around. And, you know, we didn't really think anything of it. But then he just collapsed last year in May. And that was a really bad day for me. When I found out he left, I was crying for like 20 minutes, I guess, like 30. Like, crying takes a lot out of you. And then for the next few days, I was pretty numb. And then I started crying like when I would think about him. And then I didn't really have time to like grieve because I went on a family trip the week after for my birthday. It's so strange. Like, I got him for my birthday and then I went on a trip for my birthday when he left. But yeah, it was a very hard time. You know, I miss him because it's only been a year since he left. So, you know, of course I accept that he's gone, but, you know, it's still hard. I think about him a lot. And I still miss him. My parents recently got another dog. He's their dog. Like, he's a family dog like Sparks was, but he doesn't belong to me. He's just like a dog that I see when I'm with them. And he's very cute. He's a corgi mix. So just picture like a corgi with like a light brown fur. That's what he looks like. He's a very cute dog, but he's not as smart as Sparks. Like, I'm sorry to say, he's not. He doesn't do anything when we're upset. He doesn't know how to open doors. Like, if we close the door in front of his face, he just stares at it. But with Sparks, he figured out how to open doors. But you know, my parents' dog, he has some good qualities in his own way. Like, he's very playful. He's very happy. He's a very friendly dog. Like, my dog, whenever we took him outside for a walk, he would be very nervous going past other dogs, and like, he would let people pet him, but he would also be like, he'd be like a little scared with his ears down, and he would like, oh, I don't know you, I don't know you. So he's basically the dog version of me. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video about my dog. I still miss him, but you know, I have really good memories with him. So to everyone, all my pet lover, anybody who's lost a dog, or even, you know, any kind of pet like a cat or a dog or whatever pet you have, I just want to let you know that everything's going to be okay. You're going to be sad for a while, but then eventually the sadness that you're going through, it will be replaced by happy memories. And you'll probably always miss your dog or your cat or whoever. You'll probably always miss them, but you'll always have those happy memories to make you happy. So that's the video for today. Dogs are so great. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing good, and I will see you next time. Bye.